Hello everybody, welcome back. I'm going to take a quick look at the Polaris Corvette today, the first player-owned capital ship announced for Star Citizen after the Idris, the Javelin and the Bengal carrier. The Polaris is in reality a light capital ship that was created in order to fulfill the role of a corvette in military fleets in the game, a role that first belonged to the Idris and in general to close the gap between non-capital and capital ships. Initially, the Polaris was described as a versatile ship capable of attacking bigger targets with its torpedoes, performing a variety of tasks from patrol missions to search and rescue operations, and mainly protecting itself and its fleet from fighters and light bombers thanks to its many turrets, a role that is now fulfilled almost exclusively by the Hammerhead. In my opinion, the announcement of the Hammerhead has upgraded the role of the Polaris in the verse and can now become the fast and deadly assault craft it was meant to be. Unlike the other bigger capital ships of Star Citizen, the Polaris can operate with a small crew of 6 to 14 persons, which means that smaller organizations will be able to field a couple or several vessels of this type to protect themselves, wage wars, and in general fulfill their goals. A dedicated and well-coordinated organization could deal significant damage to bigger and stronger opponents even without the full crew of the Polaris. It will be best, obviously, to always have as many players as possible running a Polaris for not only better combat efficiency but also better chances to defend yourself in case of a hostile boarding action. The Polaris has in total 7 turrets that can bear 12 size 4 and 2 size 5 weapons, making it very hard for fighters and bombers to approach and deal significant damage, but not impossible. As I have mentioned already, the Hammerhead is now tasked with the protection of its fleet from such attacks, a fact that has upgraded the Polaris as an assault craft. At the same time, I believe that the Hammerhead and the Polaris complement each other very well, and a combination of the two will be very strong. The Hammerhead focusing on defense, keeping attackers at bay, while the Polaris is getting ready to deliver a decisive blow with its torpedoes. And this is where the real firepower of the Polaris lies. With 4 torpedo bays that can fire 4 size 10 torpedoes at the same time, the Polaris can take down or cripple even the biggest capital ships of Star Citizen. In total, it can carry up to 28 such torpedoes, something that will allow to the Polaris crew to stay in the field for a while before they have to withdraw and restock. To further protect itself, the Polaris also comes with 2 missile racks with 16 size 3 missiles each, 32 in total. To perform a successful torpedo strike, the Polaris relies on its good for its size and type of ship speed, but to achieve that speed it has to sacrifice some of its defenses. Hence, it is equipped with 2 large shield generators instead of capital ones. The goal of the Polaris though is not to brawl with other capital ships, but to get in the area fast, deliver its payload and get out, so if everything goes as planned, a lack of stronger shields will have no impact. Another special characteristic that makes the Polaris to stand out is the small hangar area it has, with enough room for a single fighter, bomber or support ship with facilities to repair, rearm and refuel it. Like this, the Polaris can have a dedicated scout for patrol missions, a deadly light fighter or bomber for combat assistance, or an Argo for transporting personnel and supplies to and from the ship. Speaking of supplies, the Polaris has a cargo bay with a cargo capacity of 216 SEU, good enough to store goods or park inside a rover if you'd like to further increase your versatility. Although that cargo capacity is very good for delivering goods and commodities, I cannot see the Polaris as a dedicated cargo vessel. The cost to operate one will simply not justify that role. It could be used though to deliver some goods and make some extra money if you are already escorting a mercantile fleet to a trade hub. Some additional rooms inside the Polaris include an armory, a small medical bay for the crew or for search and rescue operations, a captain's quarter, but also room and amenities for the rest of the crew, and of course escape pods for when things might start going south. This was the Polaris Corvette, a versatile light capital ship that can fulfill a number of different roles, from patrol missions to search and rescue operations to serving as the flagship of a small military fleet or organization. With the announcement of the Hammerhead, I strongly believe that the role of the Polaris as an assault craft in the verse has been upgraded and can now be an even deadlier opponent. Thank you very much for joining me. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more. I am SquidofLove and I will see you around the verse. Bye bye.